Yo, welcome back. My name is Ralph. I'm your yoga teacher. Today we have a yoga class that is for all levels. All you need is just your mat and your body. We'll be doing a couple of sun A's, maybe a few, nothing too intense. So when you're ready, grab your mat, bring your body, and let's get to it.
So when you're ready, let's get started in child's pose. So coming down onto the mat, bringing both knees on the outer edges of the mat, and then slowly walk your hands toward the top of the mat and start to bring down your forehead to the mat and breathe. Continue focusing on the breath throughout the class today. Allow gravity to do its work wherever it needs to. Start to get used to the space, some of the noises outside of you, maybe some of the noises inside the room. Pressing down through the palms of the hands and sink your hips toward the heels. And with your right hand, bring it on top of your left. So you're really going to open up through the right side of the body. Keep your head down, but press your right hand on top of the left and reach your right hip down toward your right heel. Get that side stretch for a couple of breaths. Good. Inhale and exhale, opposite side. Left hand on top of the right hand. And reach from the left fingertips down to the left hip. Good, and back to center. Coming up to the fingertips, keep your head down onto the mat, staying in child's pose, but just lift your hands onto the fingertips and really open up through the shoulders, the upper back. Couple breaths here as well. Good, and release. And let's come up to all fours. And we'll slowly come up to downward facing dog. So getting right into the class today, start to pedal out the feet. Take any movements you feel necessary just to open up a tad bit more, pressing down through the hands, extending out through the waist. Good. And walk both hands back toward your feet. Grab the elbows for the ragdoll position. So really hanging heavy over the hips, allowing the crown of the head to reach down toward the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Find your breath once again, in and out through the nose. Good, and release the hand. Let's come back to downward facing dog. Find it one more time here. Pedal out the feet. Inhale. And exhale out of the nose. And inhale, lift on up to the toes. So lift the heels. Exhale, drop the heels down. Two more just like that. Inhale, lift up. Keep pressing down to the hands. Exhale, heels reach down toward the mat. And last one. Lift up. And exhale down. Look between the hands, lift on up to the toes, bend the knees, and step toward the top of the mat for a halfway lift. Breath in. Exhale, fold forward, knees bent as much as you need to. Extend the mountain pose all the way up here. So reach the hands up toward the sky, point the gaze up. Inhale. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center, closing down the eyes for just a moment. Setting an intention for your class if that's what you do, or just taking a couple breaths here to
Get even more acclimated to the space. Good, and let's start to move here. So inhale, lift on up. Extend the mountain pose. Exhale, fold forward. Breathing into a halfway lift. You can lift the eyes, lift the chest, or you can place both hands on the shins for a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to a high plank. Drop the knees, release the toes, and bring the chest and chin down. Inhale up for baby cobra. And exhale back onto the knees for downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. We'll do that same thing 2 more times. Last breath. Beautiful. Inhale, lift on up to the toes, heels raised, bend the knees, look to the top of the mat, walk to the top, halfway lift. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. Extend the mountain paws all the way up. Inhale. And hands by your side, Tadasana. And again, extend the mountain pose up. Exhale, fold. We'll start to pick up the speed. Halfway lift, breathing in. Exhale, fold. Inhale back to a high plank and exhale down to the Chaturanga Dandasana, dropping the knees, releasing the toes, chin, chest, down into the mat. Exhale and inhale for a baby cobra. And exhale back to downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Step to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Extend the mountain pose all the way up. Inhale. And exhale, hands by your side. Tadasana. Good. And again, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, breathing in. Exhale. Inhale, step back to a high plank. Let's lower all the way down to a low plank. Exhale. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Press down through the hands, tops of the feet on the mat. You can lift the eyes. Exhale back to downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, reach your right foot to the top of the mat. So you're splitting the feet for that low runner's lunge. And exhale, drop your left knee, release the back toes. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold back down, framing the front foot. Curl the toes behind you, lift the back knee. Step back to downward facing dog. We'll do the same thing on the left side. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, bring your left foot to the top of the mat for that low runner's lunge. Dropping the right knee. Release the back toes. Inhale, sweep both arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands back down. Curl the toes, lift the knee. Stepping back to downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Good. Inhale to a halfway lift. Step to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Sweep up to chair pose. So inhale, bend the knees. Sweep both arms up to the sky. Dropping your shoulders down your back. A few breaths here. Bring the weight of the body toward the heels. So pressing down equally through all 4 corners of the feet. Again, drop your shoulders away from your ears, sinking down into the hips. Good. Inhale.
And exhale, fold forward to Uttanasana. We'll stay here for a bit longer for Uttanasana. You can bring the hands down onto the mat or on the shins. Bending your knees as much as you need to here. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step both feet back to a high plank. And we'll lower down for a count of 5. Inhale and exhale. Lower down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and release. Good. Bringing both hands on top of each other, placing the forehead down onto the mat. Find your breath. Good, and releasing. Coming back to all fours, sinking back to where we started into child's pose. Reaching both hands forward. Forehead comes down onto the mat. Really pressing down through the hips, toward the heels. Your body should be feeling a bit more open compared to where we started. Find your breath. Good. Coming back up. Coming down to a seated position. Extend both legs forward toward the top of the mat. And come to a seated forward fold here. So extend both arms up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale, fold forward. You can catch the toes, outside parts of the feet, or the shins. Bring your chin down toward your chest. Find your breath here in this posture. If you feel your back is rounding pretty intensely, just pull back. The depth does not matter as much as the alignment with the body. So pay attention to how you're curving throughout the spine here and pulling back or going a bit deeper with whatever feels best for you. And again, bending the knees as much as you need to. A couple more breaths here. Good, let's release. Coming all the way down, so extending both legs forward, coming down onto the back, placing both feet onto the mat, and let's come up to a bridge pose. So inhale, press down to the feet, lift the hips up. 10 breaths here. And again, pressing down equally through all 4 corners of the feet. Closing down the eyes if it feels comfortable. See if you can press down to the feet a tad bit more to lift the hips up just a tad. See if you can go a little bit higher with the hips. Halfway there. Keep finding the breath, pressing down to the feet. Really feeling the back of the legs fire up. 3 breaths. In and out through the nose. Good, and release. Inhale, bringing both knees into the chest. Using the arms to squeeze the knees into the chest, pressing down to the low back or the back of the pelvis. Find your breath. Slowly start to release both legs down to the top of the mat. Both arms come down to the sides, palms facing up, slowly closing down the eyes for Shavasana. And allow the entire body to just relax into the mat. So relax the head, relax between your eyebrows, relax your jaw. Shoulders down to the hands, hips, knees, and feet. Really relax your spine here. And if you feel any tension in the back, maybe the low back, feel free to come back into child's pose just to alleviate some of the tension. Feel free to stay here as long as you need to. Thank you for joining me again for another class. Feel free to throw this on at any point just to get a little bit more movement throughout the body. I'll see you on the next class. Namaste.